So today, I'm telling you guys a story of my bowling ball. I'm prepared to lose so many subscribers because this is the weirdest story and it just seems so outlandish because it was at the time and still is. So when I was in grade 11, my friend and I were getting picked up by one of our parents and we were waiting outside of our school. And across the street there was this ditch and there was this bright pink thing in it, and my friend was like, what is that? And we went over there. It was this bowling ball, this 8-pound hot pink fucking dope bowling ball, and I was like, I'm taking that. So I took it, I brought it home, washed it, kept it for my own, and I thought this was hilarious. I don't know why, I just thought this was the funniest thing on the fucking planet. I was like, I'm gonna bring this everywhere with me and it's gonna be so funny. I just thought this was hysterical. So anyways, I brought this bowling ball literally everywhere with me. I would bring it to school and I would bring it into my classes and I would just sit with it in class on my lap because I just thought it was so funny. I don't know why. I had brought it with me to this one class, Mr. Ton. I hated this teacher so much. And oddly enough, I had his brother as a teacher when I was in 6th grade, who I also hated, and it was just never fucking ending bullshit teachers named Mr. Ton. It was the worst. Anyways, I had brought this bowling ball into his class and I had it on my lap, as I do, and he came over to me and he said, why do you have this bowling ball? And I was like, I found it, it's mine, blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, you should give that to me, my wife could use it. And I was like, get fucked, Mr. Ton. Your wife can get her own bowling ball. He made this big deal about it. He was like, you're not even gonna use it, blah, 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 it'd be perfect for her, whatever. And I was just like, sit on it, I don't care, it's my bowling ball. Eventually people started getting jealous, obviously. A friend of mine was like, hey, can I borrow your bowling ball for a period? And I was like, go hard, man, protect it with your life, have at it. So he takes it and he goes to Mr. Ton's class with it. He comes back after this period, and he's like, Sam, I'm freaking out. Mr. Ton confiscated your bowling ball. It's in his office. And I was like, say no more, let's go get it. So we sneak in, during break, we sneak in to the classroom. I extract from his briefcase his keys to his office, and then I go to his office, unlock the office, rummage through it so I can find my bowling ball, which I did. It was in a box underneath papers, took the bowling ball, and I then waited until break was over and I walked into his classroom, bowling ball in tow, and I just looked at him with my eyes to signal that I had retrieved my bowling ball and that I now have complete and entire distrust for him. So anyways, I have this bowling ball and I just guard it with my life after that. Mr. Ton would come in to classes of mine that he didn't even teach. He would just come into other classes and try and take me out of that class to get this bowling ball back. He was obsessed with it. It was so fucked. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, so I guarded this bowling ball with my life, okay? And people would ask to borrow it and I'd be like, fuck yourself, no, not happening. And then Holly, this person who was a year ahead of me, she was taking her grad photos. In my high school, you were allowed to bring a prop if you wanted, something that signified a hobby of yours or a passion or whatever. So people would bring basketballs. One kid brought a jar of mayonnaise. And Holly asked to borrow my bowling ball. She was like, please let me borrow it, I think it'd be so funny, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, no, dude, I've had too many close calls with my bowling ball. I just can't risk it. And she was like, I promise I'll give it back to you right after we take the photos. And I was like, all right. So one thing that I must mention to you is that there was an alliance forming of people that wanted to crack open my bowling ball because they wanted to see what was in it. And I just kept saying to these fuckers, I was like, Google it. You don't need my bowling ball to do that. You can look up photos online. You don't have to do this in person. This doesn't have to be a science experiment for you guys. Anyways, the alliance stayed strong. Holly was part of this group that thought it would be interesting to break open the bowling ball. Stupid of me to trust her. I'm Canadian, I can't help it. So I let her take the bowling ball, and then after that day, I was like, hey Holly, do you have my bowling ball? She was like, oh, it's in my car, I'll get it after next block, blah, blah, blah. She goes home, whatever. This goes on for weeks, where she just avoids me and avoids me and avoids me. And then I'm hearing around the chicken coop that allegedly Holly broke open my bowling ball at a party. And I'm like, she wouldn't do that. I did this as a favor to her. Why would she break open my bowling ball? So I was like, not happening, right? That can't be true. So I confront her, naturally, and I ask her what happened to my bowling ball, and she tells me this whole story about how she had it at her house because she didn't want to keep it in her car because she was keeping it safe, and then somebody stole it when she had a house party, and now she doesn't know where it is. So at this point, I'm just like, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. And I carry on, and I'm just like, whatever. I go about my life. I moved to a different city, okay? I come back after being gone for like 2 years, and I'm just back for like a week or so in the summer, and I'm at this party in the woods, and Holly's there. And she's like, oh, did you want to ride home? Because I'm going the same direction. And I was like, sure, Holly. And I get into her car, I compliment her comfy seats, and I was like, Holly, did you break my bowling ball? And she looked at me and she was like, Sam, yeah, you know what I did. And I got out of the moving car, and I walked home. And that was the last time I ever trusted anybody with any of my belongings that are near and dear to my heart. That was actually the last time I cared about any belonging ever, because I never thought I'd feel love like that, and now everything else is just dead to me. That's everything, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and I'll get back to you. Peace out.